Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to begin by pointing out that in a normal appropriations cycle, this annual bill has always aimed at a steady, gradual improvement and agricultural progress for our nation. America's farmers, ranchers, agricultural workers drive enterprises that help make and grow what makes and grows America in food, fiber, forestry, and fuels. This bill recognizes that families, this bill recognizes the reality of hunger also for children, families, and seniors who are hurting financially and struggling just to meet life's challenges. Key USDA programs like the Senior Farmers Market Nutrition and Women's, Infants, and Children's Nutrition programs meet real human needs. Disappointingly, this bill overall takes direct action to impair vitally important USDA programs that will diminish the quality of life for millions of our fellow citizens by cutting $8 billion in critical nutrition assistance and penalizing the most vulnerable Americans. I would offer the opinion that only individuals who have never been hungry could do anything like this. This bill funds WIC at a rate of 12.7% lower than what is needed to meet current participation, and we have a growing population. This shortage will result in more low birth weight babies and infant mortality. And yes, this bill takes food out of the mouths of veterans, children, seniors, and people with disabilities. Furthermore, if my colleagues across the aisle insist on spending cuts, I would like to have seen reductions in corporate payouts rather than cuts to rural electrification, which supports Americans in 92% of the persistently impoverished counties in our country. While giant electric companies get tax rebates, rather than paying their fair share in taxes, here we are, reneging on funds for rural electric co-ops that represent a direct and critical investment in rural America. This bill is alarmingly out of touch with millions of Americans in rural America, some of the lowest income places in our nation. Rural America struggles, and it struggles in Ohio. The financial rut that so many families are stuck in is reality. Rural economies across our nation need investment, not disinvestment. If we don't support farmers, the reality of our nation not having a follow-on generation of farmers is well known. You will snuff out more farmers. Please tell me how cutting loans and services to financially distressed farmers and underfunding critical direct loans for the purchase of homes in rural areas secures the future of small towns. Are we going to be the generation that's going to cede our production to a majority of imported food? That's what the statistics show. Shouldn't our agricultural bill be a mechanism to stabilize the already stressed domestic food supply system? I view it as a matter of national security. Tell me how cutting water and wastewater grants across rural America gets safer water services. How's that supposed to happen? If you want to see the reality of it, I invite you to Ohio. I'll take you to some places you wouldn't believe really exist in America. To my colleagues in the majority, I want to ask yourself, does this bill really exemplify Republican values? Does it exemplify your values? It takes food out of the mouths of children, seniors, veterans, raises energy costs for rural Americans, makes it harder for small farmers to make ends meet, and tips the scale in favor of the wealthy and big corporations wherever they exist in the world. Look at what's happened to our hog supply chain. I hope that moving forward, we can restore some rationality to this critical funding bill for our agricultural sector in rural America. Thank you, and I yield back.